How's it going, guys? Ricky Summer here. Today I've come back in time to walk you through my process for covering someone else's song. This video is going to include a lot of just general session preparation as well. So even if you're not making covers, this is a good one for like setting up markers and mapping out a general structure for a song as well. All right, cue the intro. Okay, so long story short, a couple of weeks ago, I was contacted by the Live Electronic Musicians of Melbourne group on Facebook. I've met the guy who organizes this thing before. He came to one of my gigs. He was interested in having me play at one of their future events, but then everything went into lockdown and the industry has been decimated. So, we all have gyros on our bikes, you get it. But they contacted me and said, yo, we're getting a bunch of the group members together to remix or cover each other's songs. We're going to sell that album and the proceeds will go to charity. I thought, great, sounds like a good idea. Let's go. We'll jump in. I'm ready. So I've already talked to the group who's going to be covering one of my songs. They're going to be covering Emotion Overdrive, so that's pretty exciting. And I will be doing a cover of a song called London by Robots in Love. I believe it's one person, and she calls herself Robots in Love, which is a fantastic name. And we've got the song right here. So I'm going to walk you through real quick my process for covering someone else's song. So I've started by dragging the track into Reaper here, and I have done a little bit of preparation here, but I'm going to walk you through what I've done. So the first thing I like to do is find the tempo of the track and make sure that my session is set to that tempo. Does that mean that I'm absolutely going to stick to that tempo? Not necessarily. I might make the song slower or faster, depending how I feel, what direction I want to take it. But to start off with, so I can kind of visually block out the track along with the original, I like to get the right tempo. So the way that I've done that is, well, hang on. First up, you may notice, if you've used Reaper before, you may notice that if you tap tempo, or set a new tempo, it will actually mess with the audio. Not the MIDI. MIDI is elastic. It will elasticize and shift to whatever tempo you choose. But if you've got like a WAV file or an MP3 or whatever, proper audio in there, it'll sound like this. That doesn't sound half bad, but we're not gonna swing that in this particular case. So what I've done is I go Alt-Enter, which opens up the project settings. And you go to time base for items, envelopes, and markers, and you switch that to time. What this does is allows you to change the tempo without affecting any of the audio. Observe. So we'll tap tempo, make it 134. You know what, let's go to 180 again, just because it's ridiculous. It doesn't change the audio. To prove that it is actually faster, I'll put the metronome on here. Oh, it's not going to play like that. There you go. See, look, listen, you get it. So let's go back here because the track is at 190. The way I've determined this is now that the audio will be unaffected when we change the tempo, I can just play the track and click along. There you go. So it's roughly around 90. You may have seen it go to 89 or 91. Your clicking may not be accurate. Mine sure isn't. I drink too much coffee. But it's a song that's made electronically. I know it is because it's the Live Electronic Musicians of Melbourne, right? So it's a pretty safe bet. It's not going to be decimal places of any kind, and it's probably going to be the same time signature, same tempo the whole way through. And yeah, it is. There you go. So the metronome is now synced. We are at 90 beats per minute. Fantastic. So now I'm going to turn the metronome off and I'm just going to set some markers here. So I want to find choruses. I want to mark out like chorus, verse. I want to find any hits that I want to really emphasize. So first up, when I was listening to it, I'm like, yo, it needs a drop. It needs to be one, like it is one of those tracks that's like soft, contemplative verse and first chorus, another verse, and then, oh shit, here comes the drop. Go, 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 you know, and then it gets banging right there. So I want to really hit that. You know, I'm going to turn this into, you know, one of my classic synth bangers. Energetic, emotional. It's going to be great. So I can see right here in the waveform, that's where it gets energetic. So, you know, we've got a lot more information here. So this is probably where the drop is. So let's just listen here. Go, go, boom. Okay, so now that we've identified where I want the drop to be, I'm going to hit Shift M and type in drop. So hitting M will set a marker, and it'll just label the marker the next number in the sequence. So we've got marker 1, and now we've got marker 2 over here. Now a fun little addition to the markers that you may not be aware of is if you press the number keys, it'll jump to the corresponding marker. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So you may be looking at this and you go, oh, dude, I've done it backwards. I've got marker number 1 like in the middle of the song and marker number 2 at the start of the song. You can fix that. Don't even trip. So we'll right click, edit that marker, and we'll change its ID to 2. And then we'll do the same over here. You can also just double click on a marker to edit it, and we'll change that ID to 1. And there you go. And now it's set up correctly. So you can change the IDs, you can change the name of the marker. Don't even trip, it's easy. So I'm just going to get rid of the previous marker. I just want the drop for now. And now I'm going to use regions to map out the verse chorus. So first I'm going to find the first chorus, which is in this softer section here. I think it's around here. Yeah, look, I'm a genius. What can I tell you? So I'm going to set a marker just to save that spot for now. I'm going to delete the marker later. I'm going to find where the chorus ends. 4, 2, 2, 3, ga ga ga. And then that's where the second verse starts. So what I'm going to do is click and drag to create a time selection, and then I'm going to hit Shift R, and that creates a region. I'm just going to get rid of that there. So regions are kind of the same as markers. They're long markers. They're markers that preside over a time selection, a region of the track. And we can do the same thing. We can change the ID of a region. We can change the name. So I'm going to call this chorus in all capitals because I'm just that kind of guy. Also, you may notice that it automatically changed colors. So that's kind of the fun bits here. The auto color icon layout. This might be part of the SWS extension, which is a free extension pack. You know, I'll put a link to that in the description. It's it's like an expansion pack, I guess, for Reaper with a bunch of scripts that allow you to do more advanced things. There's a lot of great organizational stuff in there. So basically, all I've done here is set a bunch of rules. So I've got 6 tracks here that get automatically colored based on their name. I've got, Bus gets a color, Vox means vocals, gets its own color, lead, video, vid, just based on my whim, depending on what I want to label like video tracks on any given Sunday. Unnamed tracks are automatically like a gray, just so that I haven't got like a million colors for tracks that are related, Anyway, we've also got regions that are color-coded. Intro, verse, so pre-chorus, pre-whatever gets its own color code. Chorus, break, outro, start, end, so on and so forth. So those are markers, right? So check this out. If I set a marker here and I label it start, it goes to that kind of teal green. If I then create another marker and call it end, it goes to a bright red. Get rid of that. So look, it's just for like 5-10 minutes work, setting up some rules. You get some nice color coding whenever you set up regions and markers and tracks, and you don't have to worry about it ever again. It's pretty good. I'm a big fan. Okay, so we've got verse 2. Yeah, and I'm pretty confident, at least for now, that that's all going to be, for the most part, pretty samey, okay? And again, for the most part, we're going to do the same here. Verse, and you know what? Let's change the IDs. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. Oh, hang on. So here's something you got to look out for. When it comes to regions, you can't have two regions with the same ID. So you got to do a little bit of a you got to do a rigmarole. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. So I got to label this as 4 so that I can, hang on, label that as 4 so I can set this one as 3, set this one as 2, and this one as 1. So just for the sake of ease, it's usually best to set up the regions in sequence. Now again, it doesn't matter that much. I think it matters more that your markers are in sequence, assuming that you actually want to jump to them using the number key. Something else you can do, and this might be default, or I might have set it up anyway on its own, but you can use the brackets, the not the like 9-0 parentheses, the square brackets next to the P key on your keyboard. You can use those to go between regions here, the start of each region, which is pretty good. Cool. Okay, so we got that set up. So let's find chorus number 2. 4 probably here. That's exactly correct. And we'll call that chorus. Okay, beautiful. And we're going to keep that marker as the drop because it's pretty unique. Great, so I'm just going to map out the rest of this and we'll be back in a second. And we're back. Okay, so we've got all the sections of the song mapped out. The only thing I'm not too sure about is maybe this break section. I've got it marked as question mark, so, just so that I know that I'm unsure of it. Otherwise, if, like, today I work on it and I go, all right, this is the break, maybe, and then tomorrow I forget that I was unsure of it, then I'm like, yo, that's the break, and maybe if I'm wrong, then, look, we cause some issues later on. So I just like to set little reminders and notes for myself wherever I can. You can also set notes. Yeah, you can. You can set notes in Reaper. Yeah, just right there. So when you go Alt-Enter to open the project settings, you can set notes for yourself right here. And then you can check this, show notes on project load. So whenever you load up a project, those notes will bloom, come up in your face so that you can not forget certain things. But let's not do that right now. So the only issue here with the break is the break might be a little longer than I've marked. And if that's the case, it's really not a problem. I can just move the region just like that. Great, easy. Okay, so what's next? Well, I might have done this before marking out the region, but I like to be organized. So now I need to figure out what the key of the song is. And honestly, the way that I do it is I just kind of play along with it, and I see what sounds right. So let's go grab the keyboard. I walk to London. All right, so let's figure out this key. All I'm going to do is honestly just start playing notes. What I'm looking for specifically is the root note. So the way we find the root note, I'm not sure if there's a better, more technical way to do this, but the way I do it is I find where the track rests. Now, unless it's unless it's a really non-standard track, for the most part, we're going to start on the root note. We're gonna resolve on the root note. You'll be able to hear it. It's when the tension releases and the phrase starts again. That's what we're looking for. So let's give it a play. There we go. B flat minor. All right, I mean, I could play around with that forever. Okay, so now we've got the key, we can start figuring out some more things, like a bass line maybe. I might be tempted to actually start with the energetic section, with the actual drop. So what I'm going to do is grab my kick and snare template, and I'm just going to draw in 2 bars. And let's put in some kicks. Like so. Yeah. And then we'll copy that over and we're going to put in some snares. And now let's actually mute the original here. We'll copy that over. So that's our basic drum pattern for the chorus. You know what? Cut out every second one. Okay, so I'm thinking like it's going to be. Let me pull the octave down here. I walked to London and back again. I walked to London to see you again. I had walked to London and back again for you. Maybe something like that. So it's like B flat, D flat, E flat, B flat, D flat, A flat. Ooh. Okay, so let's slap in a bass. So we're going to grab a new instrument here. I'm going to pull up my arpeggiator. I use Kerno because it's Kernu rather, because it's free. We're going to use 16ths, and I think I'm probably going to cut out these notes here. So it's like rest da da ga 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 ga. We'll start with that, and then I'll pull up Analog Lab. Great. Okay, I'm going to rename this to bass. Right? So we'll do a similar thing. I'm going to hold control and draw in. Oh, it doesn't want to do it like that. Hold control and draw in a region here, a MIDI region. And now let's start putting in notes. I walked to London and back again. I walked to London to see you again. I walked to London and back again for you. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is a good opportunity right here to adjust the key to suit my voice. So where I naturally want to sing in this particular key is quite low. So, walk to London, I'm back again. I walk to London to see you again. I can do the octave up, but it's a little uncomfortable. So what I might like to do is just drop this whole thing. So let's try a tone. So now from B flat is going to be in A flat. See you again. Walk to London and back again for you. London and back again. I walk to London to see you again. I walk to London and back again for you. And back again. Yeah, I can maybe get away with that. So I'll do a little bit more work on it. And you know, I might end up changing the key again. We'll see how we go. Because I still don't know what I want to do with the vocals yet. Ooh, steady on there, pal. But I think that's a good start. So this video has ended up being a little bit more about how to set up a session. So I'm tempted to maybe retroactively go back in time and change the intro and actually label it as such. But you know, we got a good start here, so I'll keep working on this, and you very well may see more progress on this in the future. So I think I've got 4 weeks to get this done. It should be fine. I mean, I got a lot of other stuff to do as well, but doing covers like this, I mean, most of the work's done for me. So great, easy. So I'm going to put a link in the description to the Robots in Love Bandcamp page, so you can go check out some more of her music if you are interested. And I will be back in the future with more progress on London. But for the moment, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to gently caress that like button. Be excellent to each other. And I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer. Out.